How dare you not invite me? Don't you think I deserve to meet your fiancé before you tie the knot?
What?
Don't play dumb with me. I saw it on the gossip page. You're getting married, aren't you? And you had a family gathering to introduce him, didn't you? But you left me out like I don't matter. You're such a bitch, you know that? I never knew you could be so heartless.
What the hell are you talking about? Why are you barging in here with this nonsense? And why would I invite you after you betrayed me?
Oh, please. Are you still hung up on that? You're the one who cut me off and ignored me ever since. Are you really that bitter about me taking your ex-boyfriend from you? Grow up, will you?
What did you just say?
I didn't say anything wrong. I was just having some fun. And he was the perfect toy to snatch from my own sister. You can be mad all you want, but it's not my fault. He was the one who cheated on you. I was just in the right place at the right time. So blame him, okay?
How can you be so twisted? How can you think you can get away with something like that? I know he's a jerk, and I hate him for what he did. But you're no better. You're worse. You admit that you stole him from me for a thrill? And that makes me sick. You don't deserve to be in my life.
What?
And it's not just that you stole him from me, but you got knocked up by him too. I loved him, you know. I wanted to marry him, but instead of apologizing to me, you rubbed it in my face. You told me to be happy for you and your baby. Do you have any idea how much that hurt me?
What are you rambling about? You're hilarious. Did I really say that?
It may have been a long time ago, but I'll never forget it. And I'll never forgive you. I never want to see you again. And after this, I'm done with you for good.
So you're not going to invite me to your wedding? You're going to exclude your own little sister from your big day? Is that how you're going to treat me?
I've already told my fiancé and his family what a monster you are. And they all support my decision to cut you out of my life. So, you'll never get to meet him. And you'll never be a part of my family. Stay away from me. Forever.
Hey, Brittany, I've been thinking we should give us another chance. You know, get back together and get married.
What? What are you doing here? I just had to deal with Sophia and now you?
What? You texted Sophia? When?
Just now. She came to me and said she was mad that I didn't invite her to meet my fiancé. Can you believe that? After what she did to me?
What? Wait a minute. You have a fiancé? You're planning to marry someone else? When you have me?
Are you kidding me?
That's not happening. You're not marrying anyone but me. You should be grateful that I'm texting you and telling you I want you back. Brittany, you belong to me.
Go to hell, Calvin. Who do you think you are? And what about your kid with Sophia? Don't you have a responsibility to them?
Listen, Brittany, I have to tell you the truth. Sophia and I don't have a kid. It was all a lie to make you dump me and make me marry her.
What?
That bitch was manipulating me. She lied about being pregnant to trap me and make you hate me. She made me think I had to marry her. But after we got married, she told me there was no baby.
Really?
Yeah, I was shocked. I thought she was really carrying my child. That was the only reason I stayed with her. But when I found out it was all a hoax, I wanted to divorce her. But my parents threatened to disown me if I didn't stick with her. But I can't stand her anymore.
So she never had a miscarriage? She was never pregnant in the first place?
That's right. And when I confronted her about it, she confessed everything. She said she was jealous of you and wanted to take one of your boyfriends from you. She said she made up the whole thing to break us up and make me hers.
And she lied about having your baby? That's insane.
When I asked her why she did that to us, she just laughed. You finally figured it out, huh? That's all she said.
She's a piece of work.
It was horrible. She treated me like a pawn in her game. If it wasn't for her lie, we would have never split up. So Brittany, let's get back together. You're the only one I ever loved, you know.
You really think I'm going to believe crap like that? Even if she didn't lie about carrying your baby, you and I would have been finished.
What?
I can totally sympathize with the fact that she lied to you to get you to play along with her. But you have no right trying to make yourself out as the victim in all of this. Whether it was true that she had your baby or not, you still cheated on me with her. I don't care if it happened to be a one-night thing between you two, or if it had been going on for a while. The truth is that you slept with her, and that's enough to get me to leave you.
I can see that, but the woman I truly love is only you, Brittany. Please, let's you and I get back together. If you don't, my life is going to be over with. If I can't fix things with you, I won't have anywhere to go. And I won't ever be able to get that company.
Huh? Company?
When I found out that it really was all a lie, I divorced her and got away. And from there, I went back to my parents' place. But they told me they had had enough of me. I tried so hard to explain the situation to them, but they wouldn't forgive me for what had happened. And that's when they told me that they would never let me run their company either in the future.
Now that you mention it, you're the son of a CEO, right?
It's not that huge of a company though, okay? But at this point, I won't have anything left for me. The only way to get my life back is to get back into my family. I've been going back to their house night after night, now crying and begging for them to forgive me. And to my surprise, it seems they started to lighten up to me a bit. It came to the door just the other day and told me that I needed to get married.
Married?
They said that if I wanted their forgiveness, I needed to find another woman and get married again. They then stated that depending on who the woman was that I married, they'd rethink things about me. They want me to have a wife and house again and said that if I can make that happen, they'll rethink letting me have the company.
I see. And that's your reason for wanting me to get back together with you? You want me only as a tool to help you get back on your parents' good side so that you can get their company?
Now, you don't have to say it like that, okay? If I'm able to become the next owner of that company, I'll be able to treat you to a lot of things. You won't even have to work or anything like that. I just want you to be by my side. And that's all I ask. I want to make things up to you for having cheated on your way back then.
Well, thank you for that offer, but please go out and find yourself another woman who might respect you a little bit more.
What?
Find a woman that will take good care of you and stay by your side as you treat them with all your parents' company's money. I'm sure there will be a lot of women that would love to marry you. If you started to tell them, they'd never have to work again.
I've already tried, but nobody's bitten. It appears that most people in the city around our age already know about how I ended up going from my ex's younger sister to my mid-relationship. I've tried so hard to get women to just listen to my side of the story, but they won't have it. So please, you're the only woman left for me. Please get married to me, Brittany.
No, thank you. Kelvin, if you're not able to find any woman in the city willing to marry you, then go try searching in another city far away from here. Or what about this? Why don't you just remarry my lying little sister and rekindle what love you had for her before?
I can't.
That's your business, and I don't care. I'm going to go now. Hey, Sophia? What the hell is this?
Were you able to get the wedding invitation? When I heard that you're getting married, I just knew I had to get up and do something myself. I'm inviting you to my wedding, so make sure you RSVP and come.
I'm not talking about your wedding, but about the man you plan on marrying. The man's name that's written on here looks a whole lot like someone I know. The exact same, actually.
Have you already seen that? Well, to tell you the truth, I'm going to be getting married to your fiancé. I was proposed by him.
Huh?
He did it just as I was starting to think about stealing him from you. I can't believe he'd contacted me asking for my hand in marriage. The moment I started to think that I'd go after him. Perfect timing!
Hold on a minute, Sophia. Did you think you'd be able to get another one of my partners again?
I did! After all, it's really fun to do. I just love looking at your reaction the moment you hear about me taking one of your most valuable things, and that being the man you like. You always turn red like a lobster and begin to sob and scream. It's all so hilarious. Watching you go ballistic and lose your mind is one of my favorite pastimes.
What kind of messed up hobby is that? I know that you've always had a great time in the past, taking my clothes and toys from me just to laugh at me crying. But you taking men from me gives you that same kind of joy. This has seriously all been on purpose then?
It sure has. I love taking things to your dolls from you and coloring all over them with markers to make you scream and take your clothing from you, only to return them all covered in mud and crap. It's so much fun watching you go off like an insane person when you watch me ruin all your most important things.
So that's your reason for taking Calvin from me back in the day?
And now, I have your fiancé. And by the way, he's such an outgoing man. I haven't even met him in person yet. He's already started by asking me to marry him over the phone, and in such a loving and romantic way too. Which is hard to say given he did say it over text, but he still made it seem so beautiful.
Wait, you haven't even met him in person yet?
He told me that you were trying so hard to keep the thought of me out of his head in any way possible, but when he went to Mom and Dad's house with you, he saw a few pictures of me there. And so, that's what got to him immediately start falling for me. And he spent day after day working with all his power to find my phone number.
Are you kidding me?
And so, with all that being said, I am once again going to be stealing another important partner of yours. And not only will I be stealing from you, but I've already been proposed to him, and I will be getting married before even you two can have your wedding. My groom is going to be your fiancé. I'll make sure to have a seat made up for you at the wedding, where you can watch the two of us getting married with the best view possible.
I got married 2 years ago, though.
Huh?
So I'm telling you right now that my man cannot marry you. It's not allowed in our state to marry two different people. So I don't think you'll be able to get away with it. Actually, he's sitting right next to me right now and is telling me he's never met you or talked to you. He's a bit freaked out right now. He keeps asking why he's going to have to marry you while pacing around the room.
Wait a second. You said you two got married 2 years ago? What are you talking about? There's a rumor going around about you getting married soon, right? And you only just had the family meet with him a few weeks ago, right?
I'm not sure who you're hearing all these rumors from, but those are all just rumors. If you'd like to hear the real news, the next one getting married will be my husband's little brother. We did happen to have a family meeting with him a few weeks ago, but I was only with him and his family because I'm his older brother's wife.
Are you kidding me?
So, in other words, you had the wrong idea all along. You took that rumor for fact and jumped to conclusions way too quickly.
So you really did get married 2 years ago? But I happened to get a text from him directly. It had to have been your fiancé Robert, right? He told me that he realized just how beautiful I was and he wanted to marry me. He then told me that he'd break things off with you before your wedding and come for me. If you can't believe me, then I'll send you his messages as proof.
Are you sure you weren't just confused about all of that as well?
What?
Just like with the rumor, you might have started to make things up in your head and made yourself think that the man you're talking to is my Robert. I mean, people can say they are whoever they want to be, right? So that guy might have just changed his name to match my husband's in some way to get you to go after him.
They would never do that to me, right?
I mean, you haven't even met them in person, right? So you seriously can't start thinking that they're my husband until you've at least met them in person, okay?
Oh, wait. What are you going on about? I'm really scared. Now, if he's really not your fiancé, then who the hell is he?
You think I'd know who he is? How about you text him and ask?
Oh my god, this is the worst. Just as I was starting to think that it was some idiot, it turned out to be Calvin. He lied about being your man just so he could get me to say yes to marrying him.
So, it turns out it was Calvin that lied to you about who he was?
I have no idea what's going on in here now. What the hell does he want with me? I was already in the works of handing in my marriage forms and everything to Robert. And he's going to tell me that he'd been lying about being Robert? I was feeling so good thinking that I'd once again been able to take another of your men. But because of that idiot, I've lost all that happiness.
Hold on now. What do you mean you've sent in those marriage papers?
He asked me to do that for him. He told me that in order to get married to him as soon as possible to send in the marriage papers. That's why I got my car and went over to the city office as quickly as I could to sign the papers and hand them in. It cost me my money to do all of that as well. I'm pissed now, knowing that all of that work to get those papers filled out was a waste.
My God. So this is it for you then, huh?
Huh? What do you mean? This is it for me?
I'd say you're better off calling the city office and asking them about what you've just done. I think you might have just filled out the forms to marry Calvin instead of Robert.
Huh? Why? What are you talking about?
Stop talking to me and go call the office and ask them. You'll learn a lot more from them. Sophia told me everything. You deceived her and made her marry you again.
And thanks to your advice, I'll finally get what I want. My parents' company. You really did me a favor, Brittany.
What?
You were the one who suggested that I should remarry your little sister, remember? Well, I followed your idea and made it happen. I figured that if you were rejecting me, then the only option I had was to go back to Sophia. But she wouldn't answer any of my calls or texts after we divorced. So I came up with a plan and created a new number and pretended to be your fiancé. That's how I lured her in.
So you did all that to get her to sign the marriage papers? That's just like what she did to you that made you hate her. Lying to you and having your baby. And now you've lied to her about who you are?
So what? I managed to fool her into signing the documents. And now my parents are happy with me. I'll get to inherit the company and be the next CEO.
But you realize how Sophia must feel now.
What? She did the same thing to me, so why should I care?
Yeah, I suppose. Well, while you and her have fun with your mess of a marriage, let me just tell you that I've been happily married for 2 years.
What? Is that true?
Yes, it is. So, can we just agree to leave each other alone and focus on our own lives? You and Sophia can enjoy your second round of misery, and I can go back to my loving family.
Brittany, I need your help. I'm stuck with Calvin again. They've already finalized the marriage and I can't undo it now.
Well, you were the one who signed the papers, so I doubt they'll let you back out without a good excuse.
And to make things worse, Calvin is being a total jerk. He's not sorry at all for lying about his identity. He just keeps ordering me to shut up and move in with him. I'm not going to live with his parents again.
But you'll get to be the wife of a future CEO, right? You'll have a luxurious life. What's so bad about that?
Luxurious? They're only giving me a small allowance every month. And Calvin said that when his parents get old, I'll have to take care of them.
Wow. I guess Calvin is not going to be nice to you this time. He told me when he wanted me back that I could just relax and enjoy myself.
I don't want to be a nurse for some senile old folks. I think he's still angry with me for lying about being pregnant. He said that he only married me to inherit the company and that he didn't love me at all. I was so stupid to think that he cared about me like he used to, but now he's going to make my life miserable.
Oh, dear.
Please, can you do something for me? I really want to divorce him and get out of this nightmare.
You expect me to help you? You and I have been estranged for so long, and I still haven't forgiven you for what you did.
I'll apologize for everything. I'm so sorry for being a bully to you all your life. Just think of it as me being jealous of you, okay? You had so many friends, you aced all your classes, and you were good at sports. I think I wanted to be more like you, so I picked on you. But I won't ever do that again. Please, forgive me.
No way in hell.
What?
Hearing you say that makes me hate you even more. I worked hard to be a good student, a good friend, and a good athlete. But you were always lazy and selfish. And you told Mom and Dad that studying and sports were dumb and you didn't care. And now you're telling me you were jealous of me, even though you acted like you hated everything I did? I'll never forgive you for anything.
I'm sorry, but I've changed. I know I was wrong.
Enjoy the hell you created for yourself. I'm keeping my promise to cut you out of my life, and I'm not going to celebrate your wedding. Have a horrible life. Calvin dragged Sophia with him to his parents' house, but when he showed up with her, his parents were outraged. They refused to accept his remarriage to the woman he had just divorced. His dad told him that the whole business world knew about his scandalous affair with Sophia, and that it had damaged the company's reputation. He then declared that he would never let such a disgrace be the next CEO of his company. He and his wife threw Calvin and Sophia out of their house for good. Calvin panicked, saying that they had broken their promise to him. He stormed off to the company and tried to challenge his dad's decision, but all the employees who saw him that day shunned him. They said they would never work for a man who cheated on his girlfriend with her own sister and then married her. They asked him how he would pay them when the company went bankrupt under his leadership. The employees taunted Calvin so much that he ran away from the place, crying his eyes out. Sophia was stuck with him, with no escape. Now they both had to work low-paying jobs in the city and live in a tiny and old apartment that they could barely afford. Their marriage was silent and cold. It was the most miserable marriage in the world.